Welcome back, my friends, to the Psychic Next Door. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to tune in, as well as for your overwhelming support, for subscribing, liking, and even commenting on my videos. I am truly grateful for you. My goal today and always is to provide you clarity and peace through these spirit-driven messages. Remember, these are just general readings, not one-to-one. So if it doesn't resonate, just leave it behind. All right. This reading was created for our beautiful Sagittarian friends for the month of September. However, it is a timeless reading and it can resonate at any given period. All right. As we shuffle the cards, my friends, let's dive into a bit of the astrology that could better help guide you throughout this and the coming months. All right. I don't know about you all, but Mercury retrograde last month was a very rocky period. So I am so glad we are moving away from that energy. There was a few weeks there that, woof, touch and go, my friends, touch and go. The great thing about the remainder of this year is we are going to be focused on purging any toxic relationships, ideas, negative patterns, and bad habits that have been consuming us. As Uranus goes retrograde into Taurus, this is the beginning of a new chapter emerging that many of us are yearning for, all right? Also, during this time, Pluto enters Capricorn for the final time. This is also signaling the close of a very long chapter and opening the doors to a fresh start. Now that summer has come to a close or is coming to a close, this is an excellent time to develop some healthy and positive routines and going after your goals, all right? Overall, in the world of astrology, the key message, my friends, is a fresh start and the ability to set the trajectory of your life is headed your way. And the first card that pops out is your hard work is paying off. I love it. Because if anyone works their tail off, if anyone is, got those side gigs and always looking for more and really just trying to get ahead of the grain, it's my Sagittarians. Actually, fire signs in general typically always have something cooking, right? And it's kind of nice to know that everything that you're giving, everything that you're putting out there is going to pay off, all right? Let's draw two more cards, and then we'll draw clarifiers. So I have to tell you, when I was conducting my meditation for you guys, do you guys remember the show Different Strokes? Okay. It was the cutest show ever. I watched it growing up, obviously. And that's probably why they're using it as a reference. They're showing me some of you watching it. I don't know if you've recently talked about it, if you're maybe rewatching old episodes. I don't know if you're watching a documentary. It looks documentary related. But they showed me the picture of the show and then of Arnold. Okay. So if that is you, my friends, this reading is just a little bit of a touch of a confirmation that this reading is meant for you, okay? Show the world the real you. You are very close to achieving your goal. Such a Sagittarian. I just feel so much fire coming out of these cards. Just this passion and this overall energy. And I really get excited when I do fire sign readings because that go-getting energy, it always emanates. Even if you're going through a hard time, even if you're struggling with something, that overall energy of who you are inside, that innate nature feeling that you give off always comes through, and I absolutely love it. So many of you, Spirit is showing me like a couple different type of projects. For some, it's just like home projects, things that you've wanted to get done that you've kind of been putting to the wayside. For some of you, you've been kind of revamping something. I don't know if they show me like a really quick flash of like a resume. You're kind of revamping your style. You're revamping the energy that you're putting out there. For some of you, you're interested in kind of a social media, or perhaps you're kind of in social media and you're looking at rebranding yourself. They're showing me 1%. And the message that's coming through is that it's in relation to these two cards. In order to get to this goal, okay, and it's showing me that some of you have wanted to give up and you've been so frustrated and you're wondering if this is even worth it, you know, whatever it is that you're pursuing. And you've kind of been looking for signs out there to kind of let you know, hey, do I keep going? Is this going to turn into anything? Is this worth it? Is all the hard work and effort and sweat and tears and time away from family and friends and time away from relaxing, etc., is it worth it? And I am receiving a very large, in all capital letters, bubble letters, in fact, if you guys know what those are, a resounding yes. Okay? Oftentimes, when you reach these moments of frustration, of wanting to give up, of throwing in the towel, that is your sign that you're turning a corner. They're showing me that 1% again, okay? And Spirit is wanting me to share with you that for whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're doing or wanting to do, okay? It looks like many of you are already in the process of making this happen, whatever this is, right? And perhaps they're showing me a wall. They're showing me a brick wall. And it looks as though we've reached like a bit of a standstill in this energy, okay? In this project and what you're doing. And you're not gaining the traction that you're wanting. You're not gaining the traction that you thought you've had to this point. Each time you put yourself out there, each time you go and create a piece of whatever it is that you're creating, change 1% of what you're doing. Make it 1% better. So they just showed me a flash of a bunch of different things. Because it feels as though there's some confusion as to what this 1% can be. So perhaps giving the examples that Spirit is sharing may help illuminate things for you. Change the lighting. Show more confidence. Bring more power to your message. They're showing me now a script. So perhaps some editing needs to take place in what you're creating. The verbiage, the wording, okay, that needs a little bit of alteration. But understand that you're right where you need to be, okay? And they keep showing me an individual of just like, well, you know, when you throw your hands up and you're just like frustrated, you're like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, why am I doing this? What is the point, right? My life has been fine up till now. Why am I going into this endeavor? Why am I trying to dive into something new? And for some of you, it's an age thing. You're wondering why you're attempting to do this now after all these years, right? Age is irrelevant. We're all meant to get to where we're meant to get when we're meant to get there, okay? For some of it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. They're showing me a clip of something I read online, okay? And I apologize if some of the details are skewed, but the message is clear. Colonel Sanders from Popeye's Chicken, okay? He didn't create his chicken until he was like 60 or something. I don't remember the actual age, right? But he was already what some would consider up there in age. Like, why would he even attempt to do this now? My God, some of you are just waking up at 60 though. Do you understand? Some of you at 60 and 70. Do you understand? You have so much life left to live. People are living to 100 plus, okay? And great health. Some struggling. But it doesn't mean because you've hit a number that your time is up. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Spirit is saying? Get rid of all that. Forget about it. Don't listen to people around you. Some of you have, they're showing me negative influences around you. saying you can't do it, or oh my gosh, you're doing this at this age, and wow, you waited till 30 to go to school. Yeah, I did. So what? Right? Now you're in your profession. It took you a little longer. You didn't do things the way other people did them. So what? It's your life. Okay? The end result is something for you to be very proud of. All right? So get out of this rut. Stop judging yourself and stop letting other people judge you, okay? You think people are, a lot of, so Spirit is giving me this feeling of, you're feeling judged. You're feeling judged by others. You're judging yourself, right? You're giving yourself a hard time. Let that go. Get rid of this, okay? This energy is coming through so strong. I can't even tell you, my beautiful Sagittarians, okay? Spirit wants me to let you know to get rid of this. Forget it. We're getting rid of the card. All right? No more judgment. It's time to move forward. You need to stand in your power. All right? 9 of Wands. You have a lot of different options right now for your life and moving forward. You have a lot of different ways you can go. The problem is, for some of you, is that you're doing the same thing you've done over and over and over and over and over. That is not going to yield any different results. Here is an example they're sharing with me that's kind of totally off of the main message, but we're going to run with it because Spirit runs this show. For some of you, you've been in an industry for X amount of time, right? So when you go job hunting or when you do research, you do the same thing. You look at the same type of companies, you do the same type of research. Have you ever thought for a moment that with all the knowledge that you possess and all the experience that you have, to get out of your industry, you realize that your attributes and your knowledge base, while it may be specific to one industry, can absolutely transfer to others, right? So if you're always looking at accounting jobs, and this is just an example, okay? If you're always looking at accounting jobs, you're always looking at accounting firms and so on, go outside of that, okay? Stop looking at accounting firms all the time. Stop looking at the same thing. Look at different jobs within the titles of what you've held. So for an example, if you've been a case manager, if you've been a manager, a supervisor, a director, don't just look at director jobs of accounting firms. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? Go outside what you know. Stand in your power, hold your knowledge, take it with you, and be true to yourself. The Four of Pentacles is kind of giving a bit of different energy right now. Oftentimes when they show me the Four of Pentacles, it kind of means to be true to yourself, to hold your values dear. Don't let them, don't let someone shake the core away from you of what you value in your life. Kind of like what you're built with, in a sense. Right now, this card means a little bit, something a little different. They just want me to share with you that as you continue this hard work, and working through your goals and things of that nature, make sure that you provide the time and attention your life needs to spending time with people you love. Okay? That's the message that's coming from the Four of Pentacles, so I want to give that to you. So the direction of your trajectory is shifting. Okay? For some of you, show the world the real you. Some of you have kind of been hiding in the shadows. Okay? You've they're showing me an individual who is like kind of, it's a metaphor, obviously, I hope. But they're showing me an individual behind a curtain, kind of peeking around to see what's available, to see what's there. At this stage in your life, regardless of where you're at, they want you to know it's time to allow yourself to show the world the real you. This card that we kind of sent on its way a little while ago, the Judgment, some of you are going to be working through this because this is such a heavy thing on your mind and heart, okay? Your concern about how you judge yourself so harshly. You think others are judging you as harsh, okay? They're showing me that it's more of an internal thing. Because you judge yourself so harshly, you automatically assume and think that others are doing the same. That's not the case. That's not the case. Most people just don't even care, okay? I mean, let's face it. Most people don't even put the time and attention into caring that much, if that makes sense, right? We've got to work on this, my Sagittarians. We have to work on this because that is also going to trickle into what you're creating and what you're doing. You may not be able to get to this end result without kind of resolving some of these things that are kind of really working inside you. All right? They also want me to bring the temperance into play here. They're sharing the phrase with me, take it with a grain of salt. They're bringing these two cards together, okay, judgment and temperance. We need a bit of more of a balance, okay? It's okay to look at yourself and want to improve yourself and do better, but don't come down on yourself. Don't talk down to yourself. That gets you nowhere. We need a bit more of a balance, all right? Take things that you would normally take to heart with a grain of salt, all right? They're showing me an individual that is just a very sensitive, a very overwhelmed individual is the image that I'm seeing. It's time to work on a few internal things. Of course, if you're ready, if you're willing. Spirit is just showing me that it's kind of neat because they're kind of showing me what your life could be if you kind of work on these things. And working through some of these situations and feelings, and you kind of just showing me it's showing me someone really coming down on themselves, okay? So we've got to work on that. We've got to work on that, my Sagittarians, okay? You want to be free. This is a beautiful image. It's like you want to be free of all those thoughts and patterns. And some of you are actually already in the process of working through this, which is absolutely amazing because you're going to end up showing the world who you really are, okay? It's like all these layers, all these things are being lifted. All these weights are being lifted off your shoulders, all right? And kind of like you're evolving. They're showing me a caterpillar coming out of its cocoon. So it's pretty amazing, okay? A new layer of you is emerging, my beautiful Sagittarians. And I can't wait to see what comes of this. I'm so very proud of you all right? We are going to go ahead and draw one final oracle card, all right? Your spirit animal card. And this one just popped out. The bear symbolizes a strong source of support in times of difficulty and adversity. It may be time for you to stand for your beliefs or your truth. With strength and confidence, you are free to roam at will and follow your path. Release what no longer serves you. Work on getting rid of this weight that you've been carrying all your life, right? And a new world emerges for you, my beautiful Sagittarians. I'm wishing you a beautiful month, and we'll talk soon.